Hello there, it is a bumper 2-hour edition of the Sunday Footy Show, an hour and a half of which will be taken up by Damo telling us about North Melbourne's latest failure. Damo?
Here we go.
All right. Rory Sloane arrived to work this morning in a filthy mood, threatening to throw his remote control through the tally. Why are you even watching Agenda Setters? Matthew Lloyd had a good look at the Brisbane Lions. He reckons they might be back, or are they? And Nathan Brown, a proud bulldog, he reckons his old team is back. The team he turned his back on 23 years ago. We have got a massive show, as I said, coming up. I'm particularly looking forward to the handball. We've got Brenton Sanderson, your old coach, is coming in.
Go Crows. Coach, yeah, go Crows. Can bench 140 kilos, actually, Sando.
You what?
Yeah, can bench 140 kilos, yeah.
Oh, you should put that to him when he comes on for the handball.
I'll forget.
OK, no, don't forget. You won't forget. And also, Ken Hinkey will be joining us. Or, as Rory told us last week...
That person, if it was a Ken Hinkey or Longmire that came in, they better show the same amount of passion for that club that Purdy has as well.
And if Ken Hinkey does...
I said Ken Hinkey, did I love you.
Look, I mean, look, it's OK. I mean, we all make mistakes. And it's not without precedent. I think Damo might have actually set the precedent.
Interestingly enough, one of his disciples, Luke Beveridge, has actually taken Clarko to task and also had a crack back at the AFL.
Hang on.
Clarko to
Who's
task.
Clarko? Clarko to task.
Clarko to task. Come on, Dave.
Clarko to task.
The moment he mentioned Beveridge, he starts... Why are you sitting there on a random chair?
They were COVID arrangements. We weren't allowed to be close to each other. Although the way I was performing that day, you wouldn't want me back.
He looks a lot better with a beard, though. You'd have to say that, doesn't he? He looks a lot better.
You look more distinguished. You do. You
look human.
Guy Pearce.
Well,
He looks great.
Well, what Guy Pearce?
Guy Pearce.
Damo said once that if somebody looked like him, it's Guy Pearce.
I didn't say that. You said it. Yeah.
Well, you also said you look like Tom Cruise.
Yeah, in Japan, that's what they look Mr. Cruz. I just look like Owen Wilson with a bent schnoz.
Owen
Wilson, yeah, with a bent schnoz. So, yeah.
And Daniel Craig.
All right, let's look at the results so far for this round of football. We've had enough of looking at ourselves.
We will, TJ. Of the 5 played to this point in this bye round, 3 were decided by a kick. There was a very ugly blowout in Bunbury, which we'll get to in a few moments' time. And the reigning premier, Brisbane Lions, just reminded the Gold Coast Suns, their rival in this game, what they were still about.
And the Dockers had a big percentage booster and they're on top, and they're 2 games clear of the Swans at the moment. But obviously the Swans play. And then there's a big gap. There is a big gap to 3rd, 4th, 5th. The Bulldogs have gone back into 5th. Gold Coast have got a big 6 weeks coming up, all the way down to the bottom of the 10, 9 and 10, Melbourne and the Giants. Just outside, Collingwood knocking on the door. That's a massive game tomorrow. The Saints, the Kangaroos, all the way down to the Tigers and the Bombers.
Well, in previous seasons, very recent seasons, we've run the gauntlet of Brisbane by writing them off. And I don't know if anyone was writing them off completely over the past few weeks, but if they did, we need a bit of a rethink.
TJ, they would have been concerned themselves with the way they were playing and the way they were very, very defensively poor. But I thought they'd strike back against Fremantle at the Gabba last week. It didn't happen, and then I thought this is their last chance, Damo, but they rallied and performed well. And this is Logan Morris kicking 7 goals.
Yeah, and I think you're right, Lord. Look, internally they were starting to get a bit concerned with what had happened in the previous 3 weeks. And the mounting injury toll, look, on paper, you say there are only 5 players from last week's loss to Fremantle that were missing from the grand final of last year. But they were key players and they were key ball movers as well. So, look, they got a few back last night. McCluggage was not part of it. But they just reminded, I think, everyone that if they do play a certain way, with Lachie Neale leading it from the middle, Browny, they're going to be there again.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned Lachie Neale, because after the game he said they wanted to be bold and brave with their ball movement to get that. That would kickstart their hunt and the way they defended, and they were exactly that last night. And it was unbelievable. I can't believe Sam Collins didn't go to Logan Morris at some point throughout the, because he was just dominating. It's not all the defenders' fault, but gee, he dominated.
I'll tell you what, you're dominating. You know you've made it in television. You've only been in TV for 30 seconds, but you know you've made it when you not only get your own segment, you get your own sting.
Just want to be good, Rory.
All week I've been having people ask me, what is the Sloane Rangers? We sort of teased, actually, no, it's just Browny. Browny's the only one that asked about it last week. But what is the Sloane Rangers? I just want to reward those guys that don't get rewarded. We can all kick goals, we can all have 30 and throw some grass up Lordo, and it's all about me. But I want to highlight the guys where it's not about them at all. It's about the team. And Josh Dunkley on the weekend was enormous. No one would have noticed his role on Matty Rao, but Matty Rao had, I think he only had, 16 possessions for the night, and 6 of them were contested. He normally averages about 14 contested and 7 clearances for the game. He only had 4 clearances. Josh Dunkley's one of the hardest players to play on. Only had 19 himself, but that role in particular should be highlighted. It will be highlighted in Brisbane. That was so important for the team. And the other one is Ty Gallup. He played a job on Collins, and just to eliminate his ability to take intercept marks, and I thought both of those roles were pivotal for them winning.
And good selection to bring another defender back and allow Gallup to go forward, because I think Gallup's not a defender, and he played in a premiership as a forward. He went back to attack and was much, much better.
A lot of questions at the moment about the Gold Coast Suns, so let's have a look at their performances so far against the best and probably the sides outside the 8. So at the moment they cannot beat the best, and they've got a huge 6 weeks coming up. They've got Geelong, Hawthorn, Fremantle, Collingwood, Adelaide and the Western Bulldogs, and they need to find a way to get their role players playing good football. They've got stars across everywhere, the Gold Coast Suns at the moment, but the cohesion I don't think is there. So under Damien Hardwick at the Tigers, they had a lot of role players. So Trent Cotchin changed his role. They had Lambert. They had guys like Grigg and Grimes who played really, Castagna at half forward. They played a role. At the moment, I look at this side of Gold Coast and they've got superstars everywhere, but the role players aren't playing their role at the moment.
So are you putting a line through them, Browny, from a high-end ladder finish?
Not yet. I don't think they can finish top 4. They were nowhere near top 4. The run they've got, Geelong, Hawthorn, Freo, Collingwood, Adelaide and the Dogs, is 6 weeks. If they only win 1 or 2 of them, they could find themselves 10th or outside the 10 at the moment. It's a hard way back from there.
All right, 3 big days of football already for this round, and 2 big days to come, culminating at the MCG on Monday with the King's Birthday Clash, and what a special one it is in the fight for MND, Collingwood and Melbourne. Also Mediocre, I know you've been fine-tuning that.
Yeah, that'll be back.
And you declared at our meeting this morning that your What Caught My Eye is top 3.
Top 3 this year. Yeah, it's a good one. I don't see anybody in Australia who wouldn't laugh at this.
Better than your full plasma vision last week on TJ. Better than that.
I think it's up there. It's right up there. Yeah, I've had a good couple of weeks.
Who's the subject of it today?
I can't tell you that, Damo.
Okay.
I don't give my sources up.
All right. In other words, you haven't been told yet?
No.
No, OK. All right, Rory's over at the Plasma. We gave you 15 minutes to make your way over there then, Rory.
Yeah, appreciate the time. Freo fans, wake up. If you're in Perth, I know you're a bit behind, but wake up right now, because I look at Freo and I go, you can't stop them. If I watch Sydney, I go, I know how to beat Sydney. Like, you cover the corridor and you press. But defensively, Freo are outstanding. Their forwards get up. They want to join in team defence. They're on high alert all the time. They're moving. They're proactive. They want to defend really well. So defensive, they're sound. Contest. This is one of North Melbourne's strengths. If I pause here, if you don't win that ball, you have to cover receivers as a midfielder to get a clearance like this. They didn't win first possession, but they covered the receivers off so they could transition there. Contest, they're absolutely sound. Transitioning the ball. They're as good as any team, and they can go through multiple avenues, Lordo. They can use a kick mark, they can play tempo, they can run and carry like they do here, but they all hold their lanes. They all hold corridor, they play a system, and they know they're going to get rewarded, and they don't all need stats, but they play a proper system. And the last couple of clips, I want to show you just some real coach pleasers. That's Dudley cracking in hard. This is in the 3rd quarter. The game's well and truly done, but look at the pressure. Even big Mason Cox, the big American Pie, stepping in to defend and pressure, but they were ruthless the whole game. So they're playing for each other. Their contest is good. These team lifting efforts, they're there throughout the whole game, and they were so ruthless across 4 quarters. I was so impressed, and I don't know how you beat them. I don't know what weakness they have.
So they're your number 1 seed at the moment?
By far.
It's interesting on what he's saying. He's right. Yeah, they can't be doing any more, but can you peak too early? So would they be wishing this was in 3 months' time and not now? They can't do any more, but
it's the only query at the moment.
Does it give the opposition 10 weeks to go, how do we stop this mob?
You could look at it as a positive, though. I mean, yesterday, I think, was the first time they really destroyed a team from the first minute right to the last. They hadn't done that. If there had been a question mark, it was not putting a team to bed, a game to bed early. So I hear what you're saying, and they're conscious of it, but they've got a bye coming up, and there's a lot of problems that they will be happily waiting through.
Come on, Rory, come on.
Come back. I don't want to do a Brownie and walk in front of the camera.
I know, but you're like 15 false starts over there. I couldn't take a 16th.
I'm back.
Any positives at all for North Melbourne?
Are you serious? What's there to be positive when you can see the last...
George Wardlaw, he gold.
WA tourism's a positive.
He gold, and if you have a look at what happened, so roughly 4 minutes of game time into the second quarter, that free kick goal to George Wardlaw brought the margin back to 7 points. And then North did not kick one more goal for the game. They kicked 4 behinds only, and the Dockers kicked 19. So Finn O'Sullivan was absent for North Melbourne, so that's a massive out. A second-year player, but one of their very best already. But Caleb Sarong was missing for the Dockers, so that negates each other. And again, TJ, when you're losing by that type of margin at this stage of this season, in which the AFL could not have been kinder with what it did for them in the first part of the draw, where they managed to scrounge some wins. But there's a situation now, if Carlton is to beat Essendon tonight, they sacked their coach 3 weeks ago, they will be ahead of North Melbourne on the ladder.
Hang on, whoa. What are you suggesting?
If Carlton wins tonight... No, I'm just suggesting that just lines up. This club felt so dramatically bad about itself, it sacked its coach 3 weeks ago. And then if it's to win tonight, albeit with an extra game up its sleeve, but it will be ahead of North Melbourne on the ladder. I think that just highlights where North is yet.
Sorry, that's twice now you've referenced the sack coach. Are you suggesting?
I've always, I've said this, TJ. Alistair Clarkson is contracted for next year. That's the 5th year of the deal he's got to coach for the North Footy Club. I've never once said that should be looked at, but I have regularly highlighted and asked the questions of these esteemed people on the panel, where is the improvement? And I'm yet to see it.
I think there's still been some. So I know that yesterday was a disgraceful, disgusting. I couldn't be any stronger on how bad that performance was. But if they win 8 to 9 games this year, they're on 5 right now. That is a major improvement on what it was. They were outclassed by the best side in it by a
Did you even review that game as a senior coach?
I think he has to, because he even spoke after the game. He said, "We'll smash the clearance," and they were even smashed. They were just going coast to coast all over the ground. Yeah. So they can't overlook it.
He wasn't shirking the issue post-match. Sometimes he can get a bit wordy. He wasn't last night there, Alistair Clarkson.
How do you react to a loss like that?
Oh, well, Fremantle were good and we were dreadful. And perhaps even a bit of shame because, we want to come over here and be putting on a better performance than what we did today. Yeah, scrap heap game, that one. I'm just trying to think of what positives we could take out of that game. And when you've been so poor in contests like that, at the end of the day, you need to compete strongly in contests in this game of footy.
Yeah, so, he's not sugarcoating it, is he?
No, he's not.
No, not in the slightest, and nor can you. So North Melbourne can lick their wounds for the next week in WA. I assume they stay there because they take on the West Coast Eagles. And the way the West Coast Eagles, look, they didn't get the 4 points yesterday. They're becoming a very exciting team to watch.
They are, and they'd be really disappointed. So this game was there for them to win. They had 18 inside 50s to 19 to 8 in the last quarter, and they peppered the goals, and they couldn't get the job done. This game was there for the West Coast Eagles to win, and they would have gone to 5 wins, which is even with North Melbourne, even with St Kilda, up to even 12th, and that would be massive for them. But just at the last moments, they could not put the game was there to be put away, and just even things like this, there was multiple that didn't make the distance, and they'd be kicking themselves. I mean, they're a developing team, but there's nothing like winning. There's no cream like winning to get at the end of the day. So West Coast very close, but not quite.
TJ, I'm big on the most influential players in our game are midfielders who kick goals. I just want to show midfielders who don't. So as good as Lachie Neale is, he would want to kick more goals. He's on 3 butters, as good as he is. I don't know if I'd pay the big money for someone who doesn't kick goals. You know, Walsh 3, Davies Uniacke 3, Clayton Oliver's kicked 2. You flip it over to the blokes who do kick goals. It's what I love about these guys. So Heaney's kicked 20, Bontempelli goes forwards, kicked 19. The man I'm about to talk about, horne-francis 17, Pickett 16, Petrarca had a great year with 16. And horne-francis, the difference in the game last night, I thought, just a guy, so that's the mark. Kids at home like, oh yeah, he's just let up. But watch his running patterns. He's got Starcevic in front of him. Watch how he keeps lengthening, making the ground big because he sees the ball's in dispute, it's bobbling around, I don't want to take my space away. Nah, it's still not ready to go. Starcevic doesn't know what to do, then he hits up. That's why he's such a great player. So that's one. This is the next goal he kicks. So he's at the centre bounce. He explodes out. Look at the score. It's nice and tight. Burns them off. Kicks it to Ollie Wines. Does he stop? No, he doesn't. He just keeps going. Ollie Wines says, oh, where is he? There's a breakdown. Jason Horne-Francis bobs up and kicks a goal, and then late in the piece when the game was there to be won, it's easy to do this, but he goes back, he goes forward, and it's midfielders like this that kick goals. So Do you imagine he was at North Melbourne still? Imagine he wanted to go to that club and play for them. It could be a different story with what they're doing right now. He's just a wonderful player.
He's more damaging than Zach Butters, isn't he?
He is, and that's right. Butters is great. You love Zach because he cracks in and the pressure. And he does things that probably Jason doesn't in terms of defensive running at times. But blokes they're worth their weight in gold, these guys.
They are. And there's a reason West Coast, I'll jump back to West Coast, are playing good footy. It's because their senior guys are playing good footy too. So Jake Waterman, he's having a really good year. It's a funny year because he's getting a lot of shots at goal. He's kicked 28 goals.
With his kicking, Rory.
It is. It's his kicking. And last night it was maybe a little bit of his hands as well. It was a bit of footage, him yelling at his hands, going, wake up, I reckon, because he fumbled a couple over the boundary. But he sets a tone for him up there. He crashes in. He creates a contest.
Be a bigger problem if he's not getting it.
Yeah, absolutely. So all he's got to do is tidy up a couple of his set shots, which he maybe needs a little Lordo goal kicking session at some point. But he's having a great year, and it's allowing the other younger forwards to play well around him.
Looking forward to Lordo's deep dive later in the show. I'm a little astounded because this highlights one of your worst games.
It is, yeah. I couldn't shy away from it though. It's one of the great games of all time. But you're right, TJ. I had big duck eggs. I did not fire a shot.
Who got you that day? Who played on
Presty.
Oh, Presty.
Presty, yeah.
Right, OK, that's coming up in deep dive a little later on.
It'll also be coming up in what caught my eye too, actually. TJ.
Really?
Just seeing you raise this issue with Lordo.
Oh, really?
Might be, yeah.
Right. Wow, it must be good. And you're still going with top 3 ever what caught my eye?
Yeah, I think so.
Interesting stuff. All right, well, let's talk about the Dogs. And Thursday and Friday night football produced 2 fantastic games.
Yeah, it did. I loved being there on the night. It was just stuff going on absolutely everywhere. The footy was good, and then this was good. This is Will Lewis, who was given the job, hasn't played a lot of footy, a mature age player. He said he's the second oldest in the Dogs forward line. That's how mature he is. He's done it the hard way. He played for Old Brighton in a premiership last year, the Dogs VFL premiership. Sicily, I beat him in the first half, had 16 disposals. Luke Beveridge went to him at half-time and said, you're being too passive. You've got to get more aggressive, get in the face more. And he spoke on 3AW after the game about that matchup.
Bevo said during the week you're going to go to him, and it was just kind of playing him at stoppages, but then I guess it turned into a bit more than that, probably in the second half. Had ended up on my back a fair bit. Like, credit to him, he's very strong, so probably made a fool of myself at most of the game there, but anything to do it for the team, to be honest, and that's what Bevo just wanted from me.
Luke doesn't say to you, hey, I want you to niggle and harass him. It's just what evolved throughout the night?
Nah, Bevo said get stuck into him, and I guess was probably a bit weak in the first half and got a bit of a spray at half-time to get more into him, and I guess that's a result of it. Like, I guess got under his skin a little bit, and that helped us get on top.
I didn't want to play that just for myself. No, I did not. I thought Lewis was like a Voss type. I went in thinking after the game that he's like Voss, who loves it and wants to be it. But you could see he didn't sit totally comfortable, but he just did it for the team, and it was a good job in the end.
I think Michael Sellwood's a bit like a Voss.
Well, I was going to say, he's very much like, and the other matchup was fascinating the other night, was him versus Nick Watson. And Nick Watson obviously got the better of it in the first half. He was outstanding, and I reckon a similar discussion would have been had with Michael, and I love that Luke Beveridge backed him in, Browny, in that second half. Just go, no, you get the job done this second half. Because we need you to...
Yeah. What I loved about Sellwood's game too, so he was on Watson, but quite a number of times left Watson into the pack, fisted out of bounds. O'Donnell did the same thing, but the courage to leave him at times to his own detriment and fist the ball out of bounds multiple times was big on the night.
And then to have the weight of what Nick Watson said. I love what Nick Watson said to Fox Footy at half-time, Brownie. We'll just remind people what he did say.
Yeah, he's giving me a bit. I don't care if he talks as long as he walks the walk. So I'd love to see it in the second half.
And that was a reference clearly to Michael Sellwood, who knows that at that stage Watson's got 3 goals. Now, the Bulldogs only attributed one of those 3 goals to Sellwood. But to your point, Luke Beveridge stuck with him and he responded in a massive way. Only 2 kicks after that point for Nick Watson.
And he did walk the walk, didn't he?
Yeah.
Do you have any issue? I love the fact that Nick Watson at half-time, that's what we want players to talk about. We want players, we want insight, we want a bit of brashness.
I hope he doesn't go back into his shell.
No, I don't think he's the type of person.
I just hope the ever-controlling media departments don't say, hey, listen, don't do that.
Yeah.
Hey, we're not going to give the broadcasters these guys at half-time and everything, because that adds to the theatre of the game. I mean, that to me is good, honest, raw stuff.
He's good for footy.
Absolutely, he's good for football. He's a star. So let the kids be kids. Let them speak freely. Let them speak their minds. Can I ask you this, though? Would have that comment filtered back into the Bulldogs' rooms at half-time?
It's a good question. I know coaches do have someone listen to all the pre-game stuff to trigger off anything, but half-time I'm not so sure. whether it would have got back to Sellwood or...
Surely it would have, wouldn't
Well, and if it did, this is what I always thought, right? I never wanted to poke the bear as a player. I was always trying to disarm the opposition team and never give them fuel to come out breathing fire. That's probably the only other alternate way I look at it. Like, never give someone an excuse to come out absolutely breathing fire when they're already a little bit flat. Bulldogs were flat that first half and they came out steaming in the second half.
Sam Mitchell had an issue with the stoppages. This is where he thought they lost the game.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't capitalise on the clearance dominance that we had early, and they did. So they were able to get it into their front half in the second half, and then keep it in there. So forward 50 stoppages for them. I think they kicked 5 goals. So more than the difference of the game was right there.
So there's the game. We're talking about it. And I felt like when they got in front, they were all in the second half. Hawthorn players started to want to get the footy rather than defend first. So let's have a look at some of those stoppages. Here is Adam Treloar, and that is McDonald at the bottom of the screen. So they're about 15 metres apart. Treloar was on the left-hand side of him. The ball goes out. Pontepelli gets it. And this is when they start to try and get the ball back the other way. He's not on Adam Treloar. He is 30 metres away from Adam Treloar. So that's the first goal of the second half. This one might be tough on John Newcombe, but I reckon he starts to go for the ball and trying to figure out where it's going rather than defend first. So his defensive 50 allows Kennedy to just go off on his own. They feed the ball out. Ball comes back in. They get a lucky free kick, it must be said, but it started from a stoppage where Sam Mitchell said this is where we fell down. This next one. This is Ed Richards from a stoppage. He gets the free kick. Now, there's only one player at the MCG you want to stop on your left foot. Carl Amon, arguing with the umpire, he allows him on his left foot into the top of the square. They get another one from stoppage. And this isn't so much about Hawthorn. It's just more about there's only one player that wanted this football. He is behind multiple players here. Aaron Norton, this is another stoppage, and he makes it his own. So that is 4 stoppage goals in the second half. 3 Hawthorn probably should have stopped, and 1 that they couldn't just because Aaron Norton was outstanding.
And what about the Crows and Geelong? What an outstanding contest, an outstanding finish. Just hang on a tick. Nathan, you want to be awkward and just come back on now? Or?
No.
Okay.
And there was outstanding leadership too, wasn't there, TJ, from Jordan Dawson. Rory, obviously what he's been through this year with the passing of his brother and the washing over of emotion post-match, it was evident to everyone, including the opponents. Paddy Dangerfield went and spoke to him as well. But clearly this club is living this with him, but while he is enduring this pain and hurt and emotion, he's able to kick 3 goals, 3 of the best goals he's ever kicked in his life, to help his team to a much-needed win against a good team.
He's the most courageous man in football right now, Damo. People probably don't understand what it takes just to get up for one game of footy, let alone to go through what he's going through right now. And it's his release at the moment too, to go out there and play footy with his mates and just enjoy himself. And it's great to see him enjoying himself, but there is an emotional toll it obviously takes late in games.
Rory's one of those players that I just showed there before that he had 22 disposals, but that's all he needs to be best man on the ground, because he kicks 3 goals with it. So he's one of those players in our game that every disposal is worth 5 with the way he plays.
Well, it's the way he defends too.
Yeah.
He gets back. He's like Bond. I think Bond can have the mid-20s and kick 3 and defend as well as he does. And yeah, it's the clutch moments too. That mark was an unbelievable mark in the context of the game and where it was.
With team defence, there's not many times where you can say a player's put the whole team on their back and got them the victory. Bond's done it a few times. I think even Nick Dacos has done it. But that game the other night, they don't win that game without Jordan Dawson. He was clearly the best man on the ground, 22 touches. He kicked the 3 goals. He put them on his back and said, follow me, and got the job done.
All right, I'll be keen to see the votes later on in the program. Before we get to what caught my eye, I'd like to give a shout out every now and again to local clubs or regional clubs. Cora Rutherglen, Longmire territory. First time in 18 years they beat Yarrawonga yesterday, so well done to all the boys at Cora Rutherglen. If you want a shout out, just drop us a line, and there might be a milestone or a drought that's been broken. Let us know. You know the address. I don't, otherwise I'd give it to you. All right, let's roll the opener. It is time for what caught my eye. Well, it used to be 22 Bendigo Street, Richmond 3121. Now it's something else. Nath.
Yeah.
I love it when you're on Footy Classified. Do you? I do. I genuinely love it. What I do is, look, there you are there. What I do is every time you try to be insightful, I have a swig of beer. I'm blind by the end of the show.
Mm-hmm.
I really am.
Some great insights.
It's great. Did you get the eye from Eddie there a couple of times last week? Did you?
No.
I think you did. I think you tried to contradict the great man.
No.
Yeah. I think you might have.
Have you got what?
No, I want to show the meeting, actually.
sorry.
This is secret footage now of the meeting where Carla Maguire actually put together some beautiful cakes for everyone. Now, this was happening while James Hird was, pouring his heart out about wanting the Essendon job. Eddie running through the show and just reminding everyone, don't contradict me. But you misunderstood that because you just kept eating and eating and eating. And then, when everyone left, you decided to get the leftovers. Look at the size of that.
We don't get that.
I tell you what, we had spoken at length about Hirdy's ambitions to coach Essendon, and there was some cake there that hadn't been served. And I just simply asked for the plates, Lord. I wanted to have some cake. What was it? It was beautiful. It was like an apple cake. Carla made it the night before. It was one of the best cake I've ever had. I took some home to Christine as well. So thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Carla.
We occasionally get told on this show that there are some no-go zones. Just do not go there. There was a tennis incident last year, Browny, you weren't allowed to touch. There was a tennis incident. We won't go there. It's old news now.
International news.
There's another issue that we're not allowed to go to, and that's when Lordo is made to look just ordinary when he plays football. Now, I'm giving you a little secret here. In the deep dive segment, the great deep dive segment, there's a Collingwood-Essendon match coming up that Lordo wants to highlight. But we noticed on the running sheet this morning that there was no reference to Lordo. And this is why. He got 0 goals in this particular game. And have a look at this, Browny. He's taken the ball in the back pocket, or half-back flank, and look at Paul Medhurst running from nowhere. Play on, Lordo. Lordo, play on.
Come on, Lordo.
Lordo, have some awareness, mate.
He was hobbling too, faking an injury.
What would have the experts done the next morning at the Plasma?
I got smashed that day. Believe. Yeah, Dermy got a hold of me. He's with us now. He's
half-back. You were really looking for a kick,
I retired 10 weeks later. I knew my time was up.
Matty Knights was
10 weeks later or 10 weeks before?
Well, that's a good point.
Hey, quickly, my favourite chomp's back.
I beg your pardon?
My favourite chomp's back. Look behind me. Have a look. Here he is. The kiss of Chomp is back. And all right, we've all seen the merger of the Melbourne Stars and the Melbourne Renegades in recent weeks, and everyone's wondering, why are they really doing this? And I think it comes back to one single incident and one display in the nets. The man in the Melbourne Stars, Guernsey, put on such a horrendous display of cricket. They're like, are we really inspiring the next generation of cricketers here? What are we doing? We have no other choice, Browny, but to fold and merge with another team and create a new Guernsey. This may very well be the last time that Guernsey is ever worn. So, well done, Chomp. You've kiss of chomped another team.
OK, good.
Now, Alex Rance was on a podcast and he took everyone by surprise when he said he took pity on opponents.
Yeah,
and
that was strange.
Here's what he had to say.
I also had to make someone else's day worse. I had to potentially end someone's career, end someone's dream of being an AFL player. I just didn't like that element, that I had to make someone's day worse for my day to be better.
TJ does that to me every Sunday.
Well, that's right, Brownie. I'm trying to make sense. I was trying to make sense of TJ's sporting career. And I'm thinking, was he taking pity on others? So here it is. I'm thinking he was up against Damo. He was up against Damo. So were you taking pity on Damo and not wanting to make him feel terrible?
We'll go with that. We'll go with that.
Well, then this one. Who were you taking pity on here when you said, OK, I'm a bit sore, and you faked that injury? And also this run.
Tommy Brown. I wouldn't have worn white.
No.
Were you taking pity on Mickey Martin?
Stop it.
And then the last
Don't
one.
slow-mo it.
Were you
Tommy Brown.
Nathan, thank you.
And were you worried about
No, you're just looking after
So what is your
TJ?
That you're like Rancy and you didn't want to make others feel bad. I'm trying to look after you, TJ.
OK, I'm OK, all right? I don't need you to look after me. Here we go, top three.
Yeah, you have to be professional when things go wrong. So Peter Overton was professional when he was eating at the desk. So let's have a look at Pete.
Nine's political editor Charles Croucher joins me from Canberra. Charles Croucher joins me from Canberra.
Didn't skip a beat. Did not. He just finished it off beautifully. Something happened during the week, Tone, that you want to talk about?
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, OK, right.
Do you think it's top three?
No.
Well, let's just play it and you decide whether this is top three.
Oh, God.
No. Wait for it.
No, you won't get it.
Wait for it.
Oh, no.
Wait for it.
No, you couldn't.
Not straight back.
It was on the floor.
What was that?
It's off the floor. Am I back on?
I'm back on.
Look at this carpet. It wasn't on the carpet, it was on the floor.
This week
That's where Archie sits.
Professional wheeler was there too.
Professional wheeler. Tell out where his dog sits and hair over it. You disgusting man.
Top three is top 10 filled with Tony Jones.
Oh, yeah. I tell you what, when I quit this show, it's only going to go 30 minutes. You'll have nothing. You'll have nothing. All right, good work, Nathan. All right, we'll take a break. You are watching the Sunday Footy Show. Back with more in just a moment. Really, it's good to have your company on this Sunday morning, and we've got plenty in store for you. As we take a look at the reigning premiers, as it sits this morning, Brisbane 8th on the ladder, Gold Coast Suns are 5th, and the Suns, I tell you what, they might have shot themselves in the foot with this one because they have a horrific run home.
Yeah, you got to make a statement early, and I thought Brisbane did that. It's amazing sometimes what the quarter remains, and that's what they did. They put them away in the first quarter with their start. Logan Morris, absolutely brilliant with 7 goals. Lachie Neale, he'll be a massive loss if he leaves the club at the end of the year, and Ben King fought hard for the Gold Coast Suns, but as I said, the first quarter, Brownie, they made a statement. They jumped out of the blocks, and there was no return for the Gold Coast Suns.
They set the tone. So they've got so many midfielders. Darcy Wilmot doesn't often get a look in, but he's been so good for them at half-back. I'd love to see him play through the midfield. His game, have a look at that kick. That is taking the game on. Had 10 intercepts, and he just builds and builds every time. I love the way he plays about it. I think if you had a football club and you were starting, he'd be in the top 5 players you'd want at your football club. The way he plays, the teammate he is, he never really gets beaten one-on-one. I just love him.
Without Dane Zorko too at the moment, his role is more important than ever, isn't it?
There's no doubt, though, someone made the point that they've been too safe. Last week, I thought even Wilmot wasn't taking those kicks on Brownie, and the theme of a premiership year, was it 24? Was
last year.
Last year, sorry, we're skating on ice, thin ice. We've got to start dancing. I reckon that maybe they've come back to play that again.
Yeah, that was certainly one man that mentioned it too was Lachie Neale. He was outstanding, and I'd argue he's in his best form of his career. Or he's in as good a form as some of his Brownlow years as well. Exactly. When he's playing this well, but. Well, disappointing in Gold Coast mids. There was not a lot of body work and not a lot of time put into him. I would have moved Matty Rowell. I said to Matty Rowell, you're getting tagged. Go and do the job on Neale, create a 2v1 because he had 10 clearances and dominated the centre bounce area. So he's the one that said after the game they wanted to be bold, they wanted to be brave because that's how they play their best footy. So they need to keep playing this style of footy because that's how they won a premiership the last 2 years.
Yeah. A few issues for injury problems.
Taken by that word?
I don't know, we're moving on to the Gold Coast Suns, TJ, with Bailey Humphrey getting injured late in the game. Also, too, Mav Weller went down earlier than that, as did Will Graham, but it just looked a little bit nasty here, Brownie. It's just with late in the piece with Bailey Humphrey. He was the subject of Damien Hardwick's commentary during the week too. Contracted for the Suns, interest in him. The expectation is that he will seek to go to market again at the end of the year. But
went to hospital too?
He did, and we're not yet knowing what the Gold Coast Suns are saying by way of the diagnosis on that.
Are you expanding on that in the agenda, Damien Hardwick's comments about, leave our players alone?
We'll take a look at it.
All right, because it was a little bit, I don't want to use the word hypocritical, but he has been known to sort of take a few players himself, hasn't he?
He has, both as Richmond coach and also in the short time he's been at Gold Coast. Yeah.
Damo, it's been a poor couple of weeks since the Darwin. What are you making of the Gold Coast Suns?
Well, I'm just not yet to be convinced, Lordo. And we did highlight this when they were in Darwin, just to remind people, in the previous 23, 24 and 25 seasons, they are to lose 3 of the 4 matches that follow those games. And here we are again in 2026, the 4th year potentially of this cycle, where they're now 0-2 since Darwin. So it's why the club is trying to extricate itself from at least one of those 2 matches it does play in Darwin. I don't think it's the reason, Lordo, for why they're falling away, but ultimately they are not yet able to make an impact in 2026 anyway against good teams.
Yeah, they were scary good in the opening round against the Cats. They haven't really been great since. So 6-5 since that opening game. So there's the votes. Logan Morris gets a 9, Neale, Wilmot and Johnny Noble was the Suns' best.
All right, plenty of other reviews to get through and also previews, not least Melbourne and Collingwood at the MCG tomorrow. But after the break, I want to go back to Thursday and Friday night. This was a real poster boy, if you like, for the AFL. And, I guess some of these Thursday, Friday night matches have been a little ho-hum. This one really brought the competition alive. We'll look at that right after this.
It's time for primetime takeaways. The games were that big, we've brought them forward. We want to start with Hawthorn and the Western Bulldogs. I thought Hawthorn was sensational at half-time. I thought, how far are they going to win by? All the smalls were electric. But once the Dogs got back on top in the clearances, they become dysfunctional. And they kicked 1 goal 11 after half-time, and they had 17 more entries than the Western Bulldogs, but lost the game. So I just want to show the last quarter. This is a ball movement of the Western Bulldogs. They didn't get many entries, but this was a quality. But this was Hawthorn. I thought they lost their way. So no Jack Gunston, and I didn't feel Mitch Lewis was injured and struggled. Chol was pretty good, but aside from that, they got nothing else. So thought how good they looked, TJ, when Gunston's there. But then when Gunston wasn't there, suddenly they didn't really have the setup to win this game of footy.
But that would be unusual for Sam Mitchell, of all people, not to have a plan B.
I thought he was too slow, to be honest. Late in the game, I wanted Sicily or Weddle to equalise. They had an extra behind the ball, the Dogs, and I kept saying, get one of them down there. And it took him till 2 minutes to go in the game to equalise with Weddle forward of the ball, where he took a mark and had a shot. Rather than that, he allowed the Dogs to defend with +1.
I don't think anyone's ever said that about Sam Mitchell being slow to the party in a match day situation.
Yeah, 100%. It was actually frustrating watching it, saying, throw one of them forward, but he didn't till 2 minutes to go when it was too late.
So Jack Gunston, he's 34 at the moment. Mid-October, he turns 35. So could he go another 2 years?
I think he wants to go another 2 years, TJ, and I think that's why there's a form of stalemate might be too strong a word, but they're not quite at the sign the contract stage. He'll definitely play in 2027, and if you're Hawthorn, I can understand why. Rory, you may just want to just not guarantee the 28 year.
You'd probably
put some
back.
KPIs in there.
Yeah, you pull back. You go 1 year and a few triggers, like maybe a game's trigger of 15 games or something, and maybe a few goals in there.
Browny, where do you see these two clubs, Hawks and the Dogs, right now?
Well, I still think the Hawks are good enough to be there on the last day of September. I think they've got everything at ground level they need. Will Day coming back in. They've got the two ruckmen defensively when they get Barris back. Obviously, Gunston, as you pointed out, is. So I think they're in the best four sides in the competition. So a little bit of luck at the end of the season. I've really enjoyed where the Dogs started, how they got belted, and now they've come back. They've got their players back. So much relies on Tim English. We talk about Bontempelli, we talk about Richards, but Tim English is so important for the Western Bulldogs. If he's not there, they really struggle. Look, the Dogs are the next level down, but who knows? The Dogs could turn up in September and play unbelievable football, but I've probably got more faith in the Hawks come September at the moment.
I agree with you, Browny. Adelaide and Geelong. Adelaide finally won a close one, Rory. How did you see it?
Look, they needed to because they've been involved in far too many close ones. But at the 9-minute mark, this sign went up and I nearly threw the remote through the TV screen. So that sign right there, there's 9 minutes left in the game. Well, watching the game unfold from here, it meant they wanted to play a strong side game. They just went long to contest, to another contest and again. Whereas before that, they were taking Geelong on through the corridor and really exposing them. And they were hitting the scoreboard too. So 9 minutes left. I think it's because they had a few on the bench. But it didn't matter. For me, they need to put the foot on the throat and stop getting in these close games.
Nearly half a quarter.
Nearly half a quarter, they're playing that style where I thought a free open game had worked so well for them before it. But that's how they get out of these close game scenarios. They've got to put the foot on the throat and go another level and make sure they finish games off. Because even Jordan Dawson said after the game, I think for 7 minutes he said, I'll let you have a listen.
Yeah, we need to work on it. I think the kill the game mode. We tried to save the game there the last 7 minutes. And to their credit, they used their numbers well around the contest and were able to score against us. But
so save the game, Lordo, for 7 minutes. You can't
too
do
long.
that.
No, that's a great point, Rory.
Brisbane and Collingwood over the last few years, they've been really good at taking the game on and putting sides away, haven't they?
Damo, on the Geelong front, obviously they took out Tom Stewart, did a really good job against him with Archie. And obviously, they got nothing out of Jeremy Cameron. So how are you seeing the cap?
Yes, Nisha, we'll take a look at Jeremy Cameron specifically in agenda section of the show, Lordo, in a few moments' time today. But look, they're now losing matches, the Cats. You can't rule them out of top four, but they've made it problematic now in a season in which they've already previously lost to Carlton and Port Adelaide. So, yeah, another consecutive weekend of matches, a match where they've lost by a kick. So, look, we know what they can do, Lordo. We know that they can regroup in September, but it's just jeopardising top four chances.
We've got some great players, Geelong. So we know Cameron's unbelievable, Smith and Holmes, but if I play them on grand final day, I'm sending someone to Tom Stewart. There has been not one game where Tom Stewart has been tagged or sat on that he's had an influence in. And I think that come grand final day would be the number one thing against Geelong to play Tom Stewart out of the game because he's probably the most important cog in the back end.
Cal Archie did it until he went off with the hamstring. They did a really good job too.
All right, we'll take a break. You are watching the Sunday Footy Show. More to come. The star-studded handball, Brenton Sanderson up against... Who, Rory?
Ken Hinkey.
Ken Hinkey, that's right.
He's gone with a different one. He's gone with Hickey.
Hickey this time.
I'll keep mixing it up. Who knows what'll be next week.
And also a four-legged visitor on the handball. I think only the second time that's happened. That'll be coming up a little later on. But after the break, it is Lordo's Deep Dive, in itself unprecedented because it's one of his worst games.
I was part of a number of Anzac Day games. My favourite was my first. I didn't get to play in 1995 when they had 20,000 people out the front who couldn't get in, and that's when the day really emerged. And the last one, 2009, when David Zaharakis made this game an amazing game. But it's the 2009 Anzac Day game. Early in the game, we lost our number one ruckman, David Hill. So let's take a look at that. So Hilly was just really emerging. He'd won a best and fairest at the club. He was the year before emerging as a superstar ruckman in the game. And early in the game, TJ, he went down, did his ACL, and a new star emerged.
I'll tell you what, it looked innocuous too, didn't it, at the time? So I guess this was the problem, wasn't it, Lordo? You then coached Matthew Knights, who would balk at sort of a second ruckman per se, needed a plan B, and he came up one in the form of Paddy Hill.
Paddy Ryder.
Paddy Ryder, I beg your pardon. So he's been swung into the ruck, just 21 years of age, only played about 50 games, and just absolutely starred and really, took that challenge by the throat there. 100% game time on that particular day, 27 hit-outs, and really did, announce himself as a genuine ruckman. It was fantastic stuff, and of course there was icing on the cake, Lordo.
Absolutely.
With the medal.
Yeah, absolutely. He was just a good person, drafted, top 10 draft pick, and he was a centre-half back, Damo, that's where he played.
A really good player with three clubs in here, wasn't it? Yeah. So with that Hill injury, as we knew on the day, that obviously affected Essendon in that first quarter. The assistant coach, Scott Camprielli, took it upon himself to rev up the midfield as part of all of this. And they then responded with 5-2 in the second quarter. So managed to get the game back on track.
The mids mustn't have loved that one because I don't think he was there the following year. He then coached me and I was on the end of a few of those sprays, thanks Campo. But another man who dominated the game was Jack Anthony. And I can't believe you've given the Crows man Jack Anthony seriously. Like, with what he caused to our footy club later in the year where he robbed us right in front of us, Damo.
At the same venue.
At the same venue too, yeah. But he was a star.
He kicked 50 goals that year.
50 goals that year. He never missed. He never missed, and this is in the year, and this is game night. I mean, you had Matty Lloyd, Scotty Lucas, Anthony Rocker, Travis Cloak up there, so he's competing for his spot up there against a couple of ripping forwards, but his hands were sharp as always, and you just knew if he got a mark inside forward 50, it was generally going through. And I remember watching that, to digress a bit, that Crows game that he robbed us, and you just knew he was never going to miss that one.
So it's the Bombers have been terrible in the lead up in the previous Anzac Day games, and we knew we were under pressure in this game, having to perform, not wanting to lose the spectacle, and we got away to a 17-point lead in the third quarter, but that's when the Pies stepped up. Scotty Pendlebury was still doing his thing on these days. What a player Lee Brown was through this period as well.
Second ruck too.
Yeah, second ruck as well. He was a really good player, been at a number of clubs, Lee Brown, and obviously there's Big Jack that Rory just spoke about. So they started to get on top, kicked 4 of the last 5 goals in this third quarter to start to take ascendancy. There is Scotty Pendlebury in 2009 going back and slotting one, and I think it was inevitable that Essendon looks like Browny were about to lose another Anzac Day clash, and this is the ease at which Leon Davis kicks this one that we were falling apart at that stage.
Yeah, you were falling apart because they got out to a handy lead, Collingwood, and then they had chances between the 20 and 24 minute mark of the last quarter, but they missed 3 easy, pretty much easy shots in a row. So that one almost puts the game to bed. Look at that, 85 to 74. Again, they're 12 points. So this makes it 18, almost impossible for the Bombers to get back. And a third one, Rocker gives away the free kick, bangs it through, turned into a 50-metre penalty, back down the other end, and all of a sudden it started again. 40 out, you'd back him in every day of the week to kick that across the body, come and dids, and it was open up for the Bombers.
So the Bombers are gone, and then amazingly, Andrew Lovett kicked a brilliant goal. Ricky Dyson kicked one from the fence, and we got within a kick, and let's take you back to that moment. So here's the score now, 2 points behind, and Leroy Jetta would have thought, OK, this is my moment to put the Bombers in front. He fumbled, ball is rushed through. There is seconds to go. And now I'll take you to the commentary here of how it played out on the day.
Collingwood by a point. Lockyer brings it in. Ryder sandwich between 2 Pies. Back of the Packers, Winderlick. Quick handball to Hocking. Back to Lovett. short. It's a mark to Zaharakis. Zaharakis has kicked a goal. The Bombers are in front of the G.
The camera is shaking there, TJ. That's the G was rocking, and this is the next centre bounce, and the siren goes.
Outside of the draw, do you reckon it's the most famous Anzac Day game?
Oh, I think so, wouldn't you say, Damo?
Has to be right up there, doesn't it, TJ?
Yeah, I reckon it is.
Yeah.
And how did you review your game at the end of it all, Lordo? Did you celebrate?
I'd love to make some excuses right now, but I was beaten by a better man. I'll make the excuses. Got a cork thigh. Nice and early. I was on 899 goals. At the time, I got the yips. I was kicked 5 points, so I had a shot.
You had 4 kicks, Lordo. We checked before.
4 points, was it?
3 points.
3 behind.
And caught holding the ball.
Yeah, no, I had a stinker, and but that happens sometimes. So part of the day, but didn't fire a shot.
Oh, come on, big fella. We still love you.
Thanks, TJ.
All right.
Thank you.
We'll take a break. You are watching the Sunday Footy Show. More to come right after this.
Welcome back to the Sunday Footy Show. It's Sunday Agenda time, and head of agenda today is an issue that Matthew Lloyd has been very passionately strong about, that being players pushing opponents into marking contests. It happened on Thursday night at Adelaide Oval. Taylor Walker pushed Connor O'Sullivan into this issue with Jordan Dawson and also Mark O'Connor, and the Match Review Office, via its adjudication the following morning, said that was worthy of a 1-week ban. The Crows will take this matter to the tribunal. Lordo, but you were red hot on this when this started to emerge as a practice in the 2024-2025 off-season, when Ruben Ginbey had a moment with Sam Lawler of Richmond, and you highlighted it then, and you're still hot on it.
Oh, massive on it, Damo. And I'll admit, I used that tactic back when I was playing, and you could do it, but it's just the cause for injury is huge. You know as a forward what you are doing. I was big on that one, the Ginbey one at the time, and I'm as big as this one. I think he deserves his week. I hope that week stands, Rory, because I think it's one of the more dangerous acts in football. And I'm glad he got his week.
Do you think it was forceful enough, though, to deserve a week?
It doesn't need to be too much, honestly.
It was subtle, wasn't it?
Because the pace is coming all around him. So it's not so much the pace of the push, it's the pace of the players coming back and forwards, and can you flip up very easily.
Well, because Connor O'Sullivan's running at such speed, it doesn't take much for him to just project forward.
You're mounting a defence, are you?
I'm mounting a defence, yeah. I'm probably a little biased too, mind you.
Really?
But, yeah, can you tell?
At least you're honest.
Let's have a look again, Rory. Let's have a look one more time.
That's more the last clip I want to look at, because I don't see a full extension of his arms, in all seriousness. Like, it's a really light touch on the back.
Yeah. Hopefully we can see it again. Look,
this angle looks bad.
Yeah, bad. That's enough that he cannot play this week. And as I said, doesn't matter who it is, I'm dead strong on it. The cause injury is just massive.
But the last angle I want to show you, like if you can see it quickly enough, like there's not a full extension.
He has to brace, Rory. Connor O'Sullivan gets pushed and has to brace. That's how much. Just didn't matter.
Yeah.
Like what the force was.
Damo, he sounds like an old tribunal hearing over here, doesn't he?
You agree,
but he's been big on it, though.
I agree.
Yeah, he's been big on this, TJ. I think he actually led the industry when he
I'm talking about Rory's defence.
Oh, Rory's defence. Yeah, I think about Lordo's prosecution. Another issue out of the game was the incident involving Chris Scott, the Geelong coach, at three-quarter time, and a Adelaide Crows fan. Not the first time Chris Scott has had an exchange, or at least an exchange of words from an Adelaide Crows fan toward him at this particular venue. And post-match, he summed it up this way.
They had words to you.
The fans?
Yeah.
Of course they do.
Did you feel
they're nuffies. But that's okay.
You feel the need to alert security up?
I talk to security regularly. This is one of the best stadiums in the world. I love it. No, it's an oversight that the coaches should have to walk through the crowd. I don't want to do it at any ground.
So that was the other night. There was an incident in 2021, which I do believe we've also got access to, that did involve Chris Scott during the COVID, the second of the two COVID seasons of football, where again there was need for Chris Scott to raise an issue with the security around him. Look, there are elevators and lifts at Adelaide Oval that allow coaches to get down there, but clearly they feel they can get down to the ground quicker by going through the crowd.
They should not be put in that position.
Yeah.
I mean, the game has come so far. It's a multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar game, and when emotions are running so high in the coaches' boxes and also in the stands, it is ridiculous to actually put them at risk by allowing them or forcing them to walk through the crowd. It's a recipe for disaster.
I agree. Jeremy Cameron, we spoke earlier in the first segment of our show today about the problems he's got with the broken arm sustained in last year's grand final. Just a reminder to those people of how this happened just before half-time of that game that ultimately got away from them in the second half, largely because Cameron was unable to partake in any significant part of it. After this collision just before half-time of the game with Paddy Dangerfield, and there's still nerve damage, Brownie, with this particular issue. The club won't be making a big song and dance about this publicly, but he's clearly been affected by it. We saw him at times grimace on the most recent match against the Crows on this Thursday night, and even the use of Cameron up the ground, which has been part of his play in recent years, but he's rarely up at full forward.
Yeah, he's just going to have to try and play through the pain, because I think the alternative is if he has the surgery that he needs, he'll be out for the rest of the season. Is that correct, Damo?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
But how does he play when he has no feeling in his hand?
He did kick 10. Didn't he kick 10 a month ago or so?
Yeah, and he's still coming third on the Coleman medal, TJ. He's still 34 goals behind 38 leading.
Was there an incident that hit it and made it the way it was the other night? Then?
On certain moments.
Like in the forward there. Yeah, he did have Max Michaelani on him too, who is a ruthless animal. I know him well, and he would have been getting stuck into him too and making it hard.
I'm not a doctor, but I get that he kicked 10 a month ago, but clearly it's getting worse. The problem is getting worse, and as Nathan said, to correct it means he's going to be out for the rest of the season. Now, can I ask you guys, right, now that you're aware of it, if you were playing against him, do you target that arm?
I think it's been stamped out. I think a player...
Oh, you can still do it,
Well, yeah, as a defender, but I think if you were just standing there whacking it, I think you'd come under scrutiny from the tribunal, which it's got stopped a while back, wasn't it? I mean, Stratton was on Fantasia once, and there's a bit of pinching going on. Stevie Baker types, Stephen Criddock towards myself. So I think, yes, you've got to play hard, but you can't just attack it.
Alrighty, we'll take a break. Good work, Damo. You are watching the Sunday Footy Show. Yeah, it was a Docker demolition. We'll look at that after the break. And also, mediocre. Nathan's one. What about the Fremantle Dockers getting back to AFL? They are flying at the moment.
Yeah, they're the complete side at the moment, TJ. And North was so disappointing. And as we look at the stats board, I mean, they only kicked 4 goals for the game, North, but Paddy Voss kicked the 4-4. He's been in unbelievable form. Tracy's been outstanding. Luke Jackson is one of the greatest ruckmen of the modern era, and they're stacked to the midfield, so they don't have any flaws now.
Well, this is Luke Jackson. So the question's got to be asked. There's going to be an All-Australian selection at the end of the season, and you can't fit 3 into 2. So you've got Grundy, you've got Max Gawn.
He's a lock, Brownie. That man's a lock.
I think this guy is now the lock for the starting ruck position. Yeah. So I think it's going to be out of Grundy and Gawn to make up the numbers in that team on the bench, but he's revolutionising the way that ruckmen run and carry the football going forward, and he's actually a very intelligent footballer once he gets the football as well. So they want for nothing at the moment, the Fremantle Dockers, led by that man.
What you want in your forward line as well is different options, and so Darcy goes out of the side, so Norton's going to find it harder because he gets the number 1, but for Patrick Voss, he might get the number 3 a lot of weeks. Number 3 defender, and he's just too good often. He's a wonderful player, which is good to be able to say about him, but look at that run of form.
He struggled at the start of the year too. He's had to fight through form issues.
Yeah. He's got a big tank as well. He gets up the ground a lot, and then he can work back really hard, can't he?
But he's sort of a tough matchup. Do you go a tall on him? Do you go a medium? Because he's so good above his head, he's such a good runner, but 3+ goals 4 weeks in a row, you can't do much more than that.
And he might also go to someone, so he gets my votes. He had 9. I thought Luke Jackson was also enormous. He gets a 9. Hayden Young and Andy Brayshaw gets the 8. Angus Brayshaw.
All right, and before we get to the break, Damo, animal fact.
It involves you this week too, TJ.
Of course it does.
There's something about you and mint lollies, as highlighted by Nathan Brown in the What Caught My Eye segment, that prior to the most recent issue with you and a mint, this happened on a live broadcast.
Would Sunny have a mint, do you think? Because she's a little bit woofy.
All
You want a mint? She does want a mint.
I don't know what it is, PJ, about you and mints, but...
Very similar.
At least the dog didn't pick it up after it hit the ground.
Not even that dog.
What did you say?
It says very similar.
You did say that. I wasn't doing it for that.
The way the mint comes out of your mouth.
Really? Yeah. What did you think?
Were you thinking...
You were talking appearance.
Oh, no, not at all, Tony. I was talking about the way the mint came out of your mouth.
Great save, Nathan.
Yeah. Are you biting
It is pathetic, isn't it?
The dogs must be looking at you. That's too far.
That's nasty.
We'll take a break. You aren't watching the Sunday Footy Show. Back with more in a moment. Oh, shut up, mate. Welcome back to the Sunday Footy
Show time, everybody's favourite segment, Brownie's Quiz, brought to you by Sportsbet, $250 on the line. It's all about the King's birthday today. So, Damo, who are you playing
I'm playing for Darren Davis from Ravenswood in Tasmania.
Belinda Hayes from Morwell, Victoria.
James Healy, Clarinda in Victoria.
And from Ballarat, Faye Pywell.
Nice work, TJ. So the King's birthday theme. So kings, queens, everything around the royal family. So that's where you might be heading to get your thinking around it. Tony? OK, question number one.
I was going to leave. But...
In 2005, the last AFL game at Princess Park was played between Carlton and who?
It wasn't the Melbourne one, was it? No.
What was it?
Go, Crows! Western Bulldogs.
Incorrect. The answer was Melbourne. Tough one to start. Which Jack has played the most games in the AFL?
Thanks, Choppers. Chop.
Incorrect.
Go, Crows! Gunston.
He played for the Tigers. Rewild is right, Lordo. You get a famous faces. And here are some famous sliders. I'd love you to pick yourself, Lordo.
You have to, Lordo. I think you're obliged to.
Don't do it. They're trying to.
You're obliged to.
I'll go the middle one.
Who was it?
1 point. Michelle Payne it was, TJ. Michelle Payne. So 1 point, well done, Lordo. OK, for 2 points, the Queen Elizabeth Oval is in what central Victorian country town?
Still making hundreds of
Bendigo.
Bendigo is right for 2 points. Well done, Damo.
I think that was...
No, you didn't. Which Fremantle and Melbourne halfback flanker was known as the Prince?
You're quite funny, Damo.
Durkay.
Incorrect.
No.
Scott.
Chisholm.
Still making hundreds of
Chisholm, well done, Lordo. Famous faces, closest to the pin, so everyone gets a go. Max and King, Ben King, total goals together. Damo, start with you.
487.
392.
420.
360.
420, Lordo, 448. So you get a pick of the board again.
Go Strawny.
I'll go the Bruce Dool lookalike down
Bruce
the
Dool
bottom.
lookalike. Not sure that is either. You get a risk. It was Dave Hughes. You get a risk.
Goal 4.
I'll risk 2.
Okay, you're going to risk 2, Lordo. The risk question. David King was recruited from which VFL club?
Port Melbourne.
That's an easy one, Lordo. Very nice.
I saw him online the other day in an interview when he played for Port Melbourne. Have you seen that?
No.
No. Which former Carlton and Collingwood Livewire dubbed himself the Prince of...
Thanks, Choppers. Chop.
Jeez. I'm only thinking Dale Thomas.
Incorrect. -1.
Medhurst?
The Prince of Perth. No, it wasn't.
What was the question?
Which former Carlton and Collingwood Livewire dubbed himself the Prince of Perth? Or it might have been the Prince of Persia as well. Alex Fasolo was that one. Yeah. Name the former Footscray Rover who played 199 games and kicked 299 goals.
Brian Royal.
Brian Royal was right. Get the Royal theme? Yeah.
Got to go for Ross the Boss.
Ross the Boss.
You're quite brilliant.
You're quite brilliant, Damo. Very nice. Who famously debuted in the Queen's birthday game?
Thanks, Choppers.
Jack.
Still making hundreds.
-1. Jack Watts won.
Jack
Lordo.
Watts. Hey, why do I only get half a second to answer?
Who was the caretaker coach when Stuart Dew was sacked?
Still making hundreds of 50.
Incorrect. He's currently a coach. The answer is Stephen
King.
Thanks, Choppers.
King is right, Chompers.
You don't call me that. Strawny.
Strawny! Remember you came on the grand prize? You can steal a point off someone.
Well, it's a big steal, this, TJ. It's a big steal.
Lordo's been annoying you today, though, TJ.
And Damo always wins.
Come on, Lordo.
Lordo just said to me, Damo. Well,
you're a big man.
You know how you did that little thing.
We're out of time.
Pick
one. Pick one.
Yes.
Pick one.
Thank you, TJ.
Okay, Lordo goes down to 4. Let's go. Who am I? I was taken in the rookie draft. I played 107 games for the Tigers.
Oh,
thanks,
Choppers. I didn't mean to do that.
You're out, Tony.
I didn't mean to.
I won the 2007 Grand Final Sprint.
Still making hundreds. Wasn't Dan Butler?
Incorrect. For 3 points, I have been known to hang out on motorcycles.
I know who it is.
For 2 points, my nickname is Push Up.
Yeah.
You're quite funny, Damo.
Jake King.
Yeah, you'll be disappointed you didn't get that earlier. Really disappointed. Who'd you
Anyway,
play for,
Darren
Damo?
Davis won't be disappointed, Brownie. He's from Ravenswood in Tasmania. Darren Davis.
He's a tough man, Jake. Only about that high, but very, very
Good
tough.
work, Nathan. We'll take a break. You are watching the Sunday Footy Show. Back with more in a moment.
Thanks, TJ. I'll kick it off then.
Oh, do you know? I thought you normally just pick it up and say. Hang on, let's start again. Dun, 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 dun. Hello, welcome back to the Sunday Footy Show. Time to take a look at the remaining matches for this round 13, and who better to do it than Jess Webster?
Thank you, TJ. Very kind introduction. We've got 2 games coming up today ahead of a massive Big Freeze game tomorrow, but we're going to start at the SCG. Sydney taking on St Kilda. The Swans back on the winners list in a big way against the Tigers last week. St Kilda, they need to put on a good show today. You feel like, Rory, the pressure is on them, so who are you going to put under the pump this week?
And I've got the air compressor. It was about 90 kilos, so I just got it over my head. And I said, what am I? He said, you're under the pump. What do you know, I'm under the pump?
You're under the pump. St Kilda forward line. They haven't had many goal kickers this year. Jack Higgins still leading that goal kicking list, and he's not out there at the moment. They do get Owens back. They're been a bit undermanned. But I'm looking at him, Lordo, I'm going, who's going to kick a bag of 3 or 4? They're sometimes relying on DeConing going down, kicking a couple, on Marshall, or some of their mids hitting the scoreboard. So who's going to kick a bag for them this week, Lordo?
It's a good question, but I feel for them. They've lost, obviously, when King hasn't played all year, and obviously Jack Higgins has been their best goal scorer. Owens hasn't been there. So Wanganeen Miller was kicking goals. So he's back. So I think it has to come out of the midfield, I'd say.
Not only the goals too, their pressure, that forward line pressure has to be good enough against Sydney Swans halfbacks. They've got to stop their run this week.
Mitch Owens back?
Yes.
Yep, Owens, and they get Wanganeen Miller a stocker, so they get a few reinforcements today, so hopefully that will help their chances. Also shout out to Kemba Laker from the Southport Sharks making his debut today for the Saints, pick 7 in the mid-season draft, only 12 days ago making his debut today. But tonight at the MCG, it's Essendon taking on Carlton. Lordo, what do we expect from the Bombers tonight? A week under Dean Solomon now, what changes are you expecting?
I was told he was doing walkthroughs in Western Australia, trying to do some different things, and nothing really, it was hard to tell exactly what he was trying to do. So another week on, they should be better for it. But I think when Josh Fraser took over, the champions took over, and that was Cripps and Walsh. Obviously, champion's a strong word probably for Walsh at this stage, but Hewitt came back, so their senior core stood up. I think the Bombers' senior core, everyone asks, who's the best player after Merritt? And no one could really give a clear answer who it is.
Who do you answer?
Who do you want to stand up?
Durham's back in the team tonight. Redmond's back in the team. They need to stand up. But again, it's a really tough question. Kyle Langford's been around forever. What can he do? So there's too many of them who just haven't stood up for too long, and it's all gone on the coaches.
Who wins this game tonight, guys? It's a real tricky one, isn't it?
Carlton.
Carlton for me. They're playing some pretty good footy.
What do you reckon they'll get, crowd-wise?
Can they get 70 tonight?
I reckon they could.
I think they could.
Definitely 60 plus.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a school day tomorrow. It's a public holiday.
Yeah.
Speaking of tomorrow at TJ, it's the Big Freeze game. Essendon Collingwood taking on Melbourne, but you feel like it's going to be the biggest MND game that we've ever going to see, and honouring the great Neil Danaher.
Absolutely, and I tell you what, if you're going to the game, make sure you're wearing a beanie. If you walk into that ground tomorrow without a beanie, you might as well go in without your pants on, because that's how compulsory it'll be. That function there through the week, where the Melbourne players, Collingwood players, both AFL and AFLW, club officials, AFL officials, there was not a person in the room without a beanie on, and Jan spoke so beautifully. Barry Carp, the Collingwood president, without a beanie. But she spoke so beautifully, as did Beck, and Beck was quite emotional in what she said, as opposed to her delivery, in that this was Neil's day. Very much, and in delivering the message, and I'd say it's going to be very powerful there tomorrow.
Who do you tip in this one? This is a tough one to choose. I've gone the Pies.
Yeah, I have too, Lord. I don't think they're going as badly as the letter may suggest.
I love Melbourne's record at the MCG, so if this was anywhere else, that's the only reason I'm backing Melbourne, because of where it is.
No, I think Melbourne might have a couple of games where they fall off a little bit the later part of the year, so I'm backing the Pies.
All right, good stuff. You've got a full dance card, haven't you, for the rest of the weekend?
Sure do, yeah. In 2 places at once today, so got a couple of things going on, calling both games today, so it's going to be fun.
One for Fox and one for Triple M.
That's it.
Wow. All right, you'll earn your money. Good on you, Jess. Good to see you again. We'll take a break. Back with more in just a moment. If you're watching the Sunday Footy Show, don't forget Handball coming up. It is Ken Hinkley.
What? Do you want me to get it right this time? Ken Hinkley.
Right, up against Brenton Sanderson, and a very special 4-legged friend as well. And in a matter of a minute or two, we're about to head over to Perth, where, let's just say, this show is reaching new heights. But West Coast Eagles and Port Adelaide. The Eagles almost got the job done.
They did. They were really good late, 19 inside 50s to 8 in that last quarter. They failed by 6 points. Horne-Francis, Lordo's already gone through. I thought Zach Butters was outstanding, had 27 touches. McCarthy, 31. Kelly's back in some form and Harley Reid. So let's get into it. Zach Butters, Lordo, outstanding again. And I guess the hole that if he does leave, we're not saying that he does leave at the moment, but it is a big hole to fill.
It is, because he's sort of one of those players that you want to run down the race with, the energy that he brings, the toughness, the physicality. When you play the way Zach Butters does, you're not going to have too many poor games because of how tough he is. And Rory, you touched on it before, the moment which led to the Jason Horne-Francis final goal. He just won a 1v1 at a critical time.
He just wants balls more than anyone else. He dives on him, he bounces up, he handballs. He does everything you want a good teammate to do, and he's leading that club better than anyone. But, yeah, I can't believe if he does leave, who they're going to fill him with.
The votes?
The votes, let's have a look at the votes. And I thought the best man on the ground was McCarthy or Horne-Francis. I couldn't split them. Butters was really good, and Radagalia in the back end.
Lou Richards leaderboard.
And it stands up this way. Nick Dacos, 2 votes in front from Marcus Bontempelli. Butters is probably 2 games back at the moment. Bailey Smith, Isaac Heaney gets another shot at him. And Jason Horne-Francis, for the first time this year, moves into the top 6. And our good friends out at Essendon Hyundai.
Oh, don't you love them? Oh, look at this. Look at this. The brand new Hyundai Alexio EV is valued at $61,990. What a bargain. That's drive away with an impressive 546k range and fast charging from 10 to 80% in just 38 minutes. Digital key too, so you can lock and unlock your vehicle with your smartphone or smartwatch. There's a premium interior featuring a how many inch panoramic display?
27 inch.
Thank you. Dual wireless charging. That's very handy, the wireless charging.
Yep.
Vehicle to low capability and heads up driver display. That's all thanks to James and the team at Essendon Hyundai. The race for the 2026 Hyundai Lou Richards medal is officially on. Now, as I said, we're heading over to Perth now, where we're reaching the dizzying heights of Optus Stadium roof. That man there is Giants legend Stephen Coniglio. Steve, great to have you on board. I guess I just want to ask you what everyone's asking at the moment. What the bloody hell are you doing?
It's a great question. It's a lot easier being down and there on the grass than up here. But one of the great features over here at the beautiful Optus Stadium by the ozone.
It's amazing. And but in all, I mean, you've got the Juventus top on there. That's obviously promoting the fact that they're about to hit Perth.
Yeah, we've got obviously a winter series coming the first week of August, and so some big European giants, let alone Italian giants, AC Milan, Inter Milan, and my beloved Juventus. So they'll be playing here at Optus Stadium first week of August. I think there's a game on the Wednesday to kick it all off between AC Milan and Inter Milan. And then Juventus and into the massive one on the Saturday before Collingwood play West Coast on the Sunday. So I'd be encouraging everyone, whether you love those clubs or not, to make your way over to Perth to watch some European giants, because it doesn't come over often.
Hey Steve, you grew up in Western Australia. You're a superstar cricketer. Could have played for WA or potentially higher as a gun batsman, I'm told. Good at soccer and also footy. But will you get the chance to get to one of these games, or your schedule won't allow you?
Probably not. The schedule won't allow us. We do play Freo that week, but I believe it's in Canberra, so probably a little bit too far. But yeah, obviously, anytime you get back home, it's great, Lordy, and love. As I said before, I love Juventus, and so the fact that they're coming back to Australia for the first time, the fact that they're coming to Perth to play at Optus Stadium is a massive buzz for my family here who love them. But I know there's lots of fans throughout Australia that will make sure they're at this game.
You have seen them before, Cogs. Back in 2020, you went over and you saw them with Toby Green. Tell us how that ended.
Yeah, it was an interesting one. Obviously, Inter Milan and Juventus, the game that they were featuring here is the biggest game of the year over in Italy, and we happened to be there for one that was probably going to decide the title. And one thing's for sure: if you're going to an away game over in Europe, make sure you don't wear the club's colours. So I had the Juventus colours on, sitting in the Inter Milan fans section, and after the game, it was a match in which Higuain, one of the Juventus players, scored literally within 2 minutes from the end. We won 2-1, and ended up proceeding to get followed by a number of Inter Milan fans out of the stadium, and into a taxi, which we had to quickly pay him to get us out of there. And maybe a little bit of damage to the car, but I promise you there won't be anything like that in Perth in a couple of months' time.
Oh, what an incredible story. Hey, mate, and back to footy too. The team's back in some good form. Obviously, you're on the sidelines at the moment, but got a few troops back, and you guys are starting to perform the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, look, whether we like it or not, we seem to, in the last couple of years, start really slow in seasons, and, a few different obstacles we've had to overcome the start of this season, but, really important that we finished going into the bye at 6-6, and, we'll get a couple of guys back after the bye, but yeah, really, really important wins in the last fortnight to some really quality opposition, and yeah, we're really hoping that momentum kind of takes us into the second half of the season, which we have done in the last couple of years. We've got great confidence in our team and what we're able to do second half of the seasons.
Is it as simple as you've just gotten some troops back, or has there been a subtle shift in the way you've played? Because it looks like you've pressed the game and you've defended a lot stronger than you have been.
Oh, no, definitely not a change in the way we play. I just don't think we're playing well enough, and particularly our intensity on defence, and it shows like this when you over the last couple of years when you're reviewing how the Giants play, there's usually defence and intensity in opposition's faces, forcing them into mistakes, and we just probably haven't seen that as much as we have in the last fortnight, and so that's really kick-started our play, and then we know our defence will always help our offence, and it always helps when you got guys like Cadman and Hogan kicking goals, and Jakey Stringer and Toby, the form they've been in the last fortnight. But yeah, I just reckon we've been a little bit off the way we usually like to play.
You've obviously got a harness on there as you're talking on the top of Optus Stadium roof there, Stephen. But how much courage are you drawing on right now to talk to us in that mode?
I've had a little bit of warm up, but there you go. I wasn't doing that.
No,
20 minutes ago, mate.
No. And who are you going to back for in the World Cup?
I've been assured there's two.
Who are you going to back for in the World Cup? Because Italy haven't made it again.
Yeah. Again, it's a soft spot, that's for sure. But yeah, obviously the Socceroos, I'm making sure that I'm backing us to make sure we get out of the group, and I think we will. There's going to be a few third place finishes, but I reckon we're going to have a really strong start, and looking forward to watching it.
And Steve, how many weeks will you miss with that hamstring?
I'm hopeful for next week, but if not, it'll be one after that.
All right, good stuff, mate. Well, look, we won't leave you dangling, so it's been great to catch up with you. I'm still not entirely sure why you're on the roof, but I know that there will be plenty of people wanting to get out and have a look at those Juventus matches, and also the West Coast Collingwood game, as you said. Ticketmaster is where you can get those tickets. The Italian football giants in Perth, 5th and 8th of August, and the #1 fan getting in there early, although we probably won't be there because, as you said, the Giants are playing up in Canberra. Always good to talk to you, Steve, and well done to the cameraman too. That's a beautiful shot. It really is.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for chatting.
All right, good work. All right, good on you, Steve. Thank you, and good luck to everyone going to watch Juventus and also that
cracking event to go to, wouldn't it?
Oh, do you remember when Liverpool came to Melbourne and played Melbourne Victory at the MCG?
Yeah.
And what about
when they sang We Will Walk Alone?
Yeah.
That'll be brilliant.
How's it go?
I'm not really sure. I'm not going to sing it on here, but I think we should all go as a team to the game over there in Perth. I think it'll be great.
Do a show over there.
Some of us actually work for a living, Nathan.
Should we do the show from the roof too?
Yeah, well, you went on holidays last week or the week before to Brisbane.
That was only just to shut you up because you wanted to, I want to host.
It was a good show too.
All righty, we'll take a break. You are watching the Sunday Footy Show. Welcome back to the Sunday Footy Show. I have been looking forward to this handball segment.
Been talking about it all week.
How about you let me finish the sentence? I've been looking forward to this handball segment.
All week?
I swear to God, Nathan. I swear to God. I've said it before.
Come on, get it out. Come on,
just one.
Get it in.
I've been looking forward to this handball segment all week, and for good reason.
For good reason. We've got some coaches, Ken Hinkley and also Brenton Sanderson. Welcome to the Sunday Footy Show.
So much to unpack here, Damo. Where do you want to start?
Well, we may as well go to the back page story, TJ. The man, Kenny Hinkley. What are you going to do, Ken, next year if you get an offer to coach one of these 3 clubs that need a new coach?
I've got no comment today. I'm going to sit here and sit on my hands and say nothing's come my way at this moment, so I have to make no decisions about anything, Damo.
One more go. You did publicly on SEN a couple of weeks ago say that you wouldn't be interested in the Essendon job if James Hird was still part of the considerations. You've said that before. You gave a great context, and I understand that. Yeah. Is that the case? And if James Hird was to be taken out of the process, would that change your mind?
No, I think the important part about the Essendon one is James is obviously a great of that football club, and Essendon know what he can bring. So I think they just, and I said this publicly, he just needs to, if they want James to be the coach, they should just appoint him. I think it'd be a great decision by Essendon. And once that's out of the question, well then everyone else becomes live again.
Well, who's a better coach, you or James Hird?
Oh no, I've got no idea. I'm the longest-serving grand final coach in the competition. So it's probably not a great record to own, is it? 297 games without getting to a grand final. So Hirdy for sure, I'd say.
But can you have the interest and the desire to coach again, though?
I say this to everyone, Hirdy, I'm a coach and I've been a coach for my whole life. So, you know, that's all I know. And so if coaching is there, maybe I've got some interest in it, but I'm not desperate to go chasing coaching. It's whether it's the right fit.
Sander, what was this showdown record between you two? Oh, Kenny?
It's a good question. A couple each, I think. I reckon I won the first one and then Kenny, you had the Monfries bounce one. I reckon that was in your first year.
Yeah, it was. That was Footy Park.
Yeah, Footy Park. The last showdown at Footy Park. But they were unbelievable games.
Yeah,
and, I mean, Kenny and I played together. We played for Geelong in the back line together and then somehow ended up coaching against each other for Adelaide and Port Adelaide. But obviously great memories. The little rivalry we had there at Port.
Would you buy a used car from that man?
Probably not, no.
Well, a few people did as we go down memory lane for a few seconds. This is Lou Richards' profile piece on a young Kenny.
A salesman at a Geelong car yard, Ken Hinkley has a few things in common with the vehicles he sells. He's clocked up a few Ks, can produce a fair amount of speed when required, but above all, Ken Hinkley is reliable.
You'll have to move the seat up quite a bit, I'd say. Just move down there and slip him up a bit.
Oh, that's better. Can you win the flag this year?
I suppose that's what we're trying to do. I mean, it's a disappointment for 92. Obviously acts as a motivation for 93, so we're hoping to win the flag for sure.
And how'd you go?
In 93, missed the finals.
Sando, obviously had you as a coach in 2012, 13, 14. You wrote a great piece the other day around the toll coaching takes on a person. Can you elaborate a bit on that?
No, not really. No, it's obviously I love coaching youth. They were awesome times at Crows. I only coached there for 3 years, which was disappointing for me. But actually, that might be in the top 10 sprays I think of all time for coaches. But no, it was an unbelievable team to coach, and yeah, I loved every second of it. We had that great win against North Melbourne. I think we kicked. We came back from 7 goals in the last quarter. But yeah, fantastic memories. We said to Kenny off air, it's the greatest job in the world, coaching an AFL team, but it comes with serious consequences. You know, the spotlight and the intensity that comes with coaching now. But yeah, if I could answer the question for Kenny, he would be an unbelievable coach at any one of those opportunities that come up. He'd be fantastic.
And you're still coaching at Eastern Footy League level. So you've got the Ball and Tigers.
Yeah, I'm still coaching local community footy. I work in the education sector, actually. I'm the Director of Sport at Mentone Grammar, which I love. But yeah, I still get that little taste of coaching, which is awesome as well.
Baldwin's had a string of AFL greats. There's yourself, I think, Rocket coach there, Mick McGuan down
Hartford. Yeah, it's a really good club. I mean, it's obviously close to the city. We get a lot of great recruits come out of the AFL. And it's really good footy. Like it's every Saturday afternoon, 2:20 the game starts, and really high quality footy.
Now, one of the reasons Kenny's here, with thanks to our good mate Steve Crawley at Fox Footy for giving you a clearance for the day, is you love your greyhounds, don't you? And the greyhound adoption program does wonderful things. We're going to bring one of the dogs on at the moment. Damien, that's your cue, mate. Damien missed the start there. Zeus, who we got here, mate?
This is Zeus. His race name was Volkanovski.
Yeah.
So he had 61 starts for 19 wins, but now he's our ambassador dog. So Gap celebrating 30th birthday this year, as you know, TJ. 20,000 greyhounds through the program over those 30 years, and every day's adoption day at Gap.
What makes him such a good dog?
What makes him a good race dog or a good dog?
Well, either. A good pet.
Well, I've had both. So yeah. I've had both. I've still got greyhound racing currently. So she still runs around, and I've had dogs who have been in the Gap program, and I've had photos sent to me from the owners of these dogs with cats or other little dogs sitting with them, and you think, gee, greyhounds are meant to chase after things, and they do. But when you train them the right way and you look after them with great care, they're such a great pet. I mean, they're really intelligent greyhounds. I mean, that's why they're race dogs. They can actually understand what they're doing.
Kenny, you're so passionate about the dogs. There's been a rumour circulating for years. I reckon it was maybe a review meeting or maybe a team meeting. You walk in the door, the boys are all there in the amphitheatre, and you go, "Hold on, fellas, we just got to watch my dog race." And you put the race up on screen before the team meeting. Is that true?
That is 100% true. And we won. And we won.
And you won. How good.
So,
and you won the game and the race, or
both?
Oh,
yeah, both. We had a good Monday review, so we had the win and the race and the footy win. So great program, the Gap program. I mean, it's just such a good story when you think about it. My belonging to greyhound racing goes back to my great mate who I lost 10 years ago, died of a heart attack, and he was actually looking after one of my dogs at the time, unfortunately, but Peter Hubbard was his name. And, I got involved with Peter back in 1996 when I retired from AFL football and started to learn a bit about greyhound racing. So I've been in it now 30 years and still today love seeing the greyhounds race.
They're a beautiful breed. Now, just quickly, Damien, if people are thinking about adopting a greyhound, they can log on to
gap.grv.org.au.
Good on you, mate. Thanks for
Thanks, Tony.
Nice.
Thank you.
Boys. And the prize pack today, this is the end of season prize pack. So this is the Tempur mattress. This is the best mattress in the world. So it goes up and it goes down. It goes into a space called 0G. That's where astronauts take off. And the good people out at Tempur are very, very good. Jace Nicholas and the team. And then what I always say is you sleep well on the Tempur all night and then you go out and play them really well through the week with the Callaway Quantums. They are the latest and the greatest. Like, it's over $15,000 worth of prizes just right here. The Callaways and the Tempur mattresses. You've got Zane Dersma and Dustin Fletcher you're chasing. They're both on 84. And Lordo, do you want to explain the yellow ball?
Yellow ball is worth double points. Sando and Ken.
So you can use that at any one point.
Stage.
Once in. Now, have you got a problem with your left hand or something, have you?
Well, I've got a problem with my right hand, I've got a fused wrist, so I can't actually use my left hand to handball. So I'm a left-hander, so Sando's got a handicap at start.
So what do we do?
That's all right. Well, Sando, you're going to go left and right, or you're going to
go right then, I reckon.
Okay, both right then. Yep.
Fair enough.
Done.
All right. Good work, Sando. And just let me know when you want the yellow ball for the double.
Yeah, righto.
Hang on, you're going to go first. Well, just so I know what I'm chasing.
Here we go. Is the lure.
7.
Good start.
5. 14.
Oh, no.
2. 16.
Needs a 10.
7. 23. 1 to come.
And 7.
And moves to 30.
More to go.
You'll go, Kenny.
Come on, Kenny.
Well, I better figure out what I'm doing. Right, here we go.
Oh, nice style.
5.
12. 7. 19.
7.
26.
Get in.
Oh, nice. And Kenny takes the lead 36 to 30.
Right, still on the It's a showdown, this.
Yep. Don't forget you got the yellow ball.
Thanks, Tone.
7.
Terrible.
37.
Hands, Rory.
7. 44.
7.
51. There it is. 61. Okay,
Yellow.
Last one to go.
Last one.
Put it through.
Oh, no.
7. So 75 high.
Okay, so what does Kenny need?
40.
Oh, my goodness.
But you've got a yellow ball, so a double to come. 7. 43. 7.
Yellow.
50. Yellow. He's feeling good.
14.
64.
7.
Okay, we've got one to come.
Hold it. What's the state of play?
Needs a
So
7.
it just needs a 5 or a 7.
Oh.
Or a bullseye?
Kenny.
Yeah, a good finish. A 7 to 78.
Our winner for today is Ken Hinkey, as Rory told us last week. And you got your name wrong.
Yeah, I accidentally called you Ken Hinkey last night.
Rory Lone.
Well, wish he was on loan. But anyway, great to see you. Continued success at Mentone and also the Ballman Footy Club.
Thank you, boys.
Well, whatever transpires, Kenny, we'll watch this space.
Good on you, fellas.
All right, thank you. And don't forget the Greyhound Adoption Program. Get yourself one of these beautiful animals. All right, that wraps it up for this edition of the Sunday Footy Show. Thanks for letting me finish that sentence.
No worries, anytime. Well done. And wherever you may be, may the sun shine on you today and have a great King's birthday.
Oh, he'll be thrilled that you said that.